Welcome back to the Fracking Farmhouse, where I want to compare some fossil fuel investment with some renewable energy investment. So this has been in the news recently. INEOS, our favourite company, because they want to drill just a mile away here, Marsh Lane. INEOS announced triumphantly the other day a £1 billion investment in this country. And we all went, oh, thank you, because nobody's investing in this country. The Japanese are taking all the money out. Everyone's leaving, sinking ship. So £1 billion investment by INEOS, and half of that, 500 million, is going to rejuvenate the Forties pipeline from the North Sea. So all the North Sea gas, make it come in, keep it coming in. That's good. 350 million to Grangemouth to make it more energy efficient. I actually approve of that. If you're not going to shut down Grangemouth, at least make it more energy efficient. And 150 million to make some polyvinyl chloride or something, some useful poison in Hull, which is going to create 40 jobs. Right, okay, hold that number in your head. So that's 1 billion investment by INEOS and 40 jobs created, right? At the same time, INEOS announced that they were paying a dividend to their shareholders of 1.2 billion, right? And the interesting thing about that is there are only 3 shareholders in INEOS, and Jim Radcliffe's 60%, and then 2 other guys, I forget the name, 20% each. So while Jim Radcliffe's announcing £1 billion investment in the infrastructure, he's also announcing £1.2 billion investment in his back pocket. He's actually giving himself more than he is paying from the Forties that he's investing in the Forties pipeline. And the other thing INEOS were exposed for is they had a plan to try and avoid £4 billion worth of taxes by moving to Monaco. And even PricewaterhouseCoopers, who are an accounting firm that are prepared to allow for creative tax solutions within the law, obviously. Even they were wincing a bit at this plan to deprive the Scottish government or the British government £4 billion. And if you want to put that into perspective, imagine we wanted to fix climate change. And the easiest things to do is to insulate houses and put solar panels on houses. You need plumbers and builders to do that. Let's say, let's pay a plumber or builder 40 grand a year. Good wage, but because they're skilled men. You could employ 10,000 plumbers for 10 years with that kind of money that Jim Radcliffe was trying not to pay in tax, one man's tax bill. So there you go, that's one side of it. And the other thing is from the Lowestoft Journal, good old Lowestoft in East Anglia, because Claire Perry, not my favourite politician, but a politician nevertheless, she's been to the Suffolk coast on Thursday, that's today, to unveil the offshore wind sector deal aimed at generating a third of British electricity by using wind. And she's announced a £250 million, so that's a bit more than the Hull investment, but a bit less than the Grangemouth investment. Aimed at generating a third of British electricity using wind by 2030, and estimated 27,000 jobs will be created across the country as a result of the deal, 6,000 of which will be in East Anglia. Trumpets the Lowestoft Journal, or Herald, whichever it is. So gives you an idea of what do we want? Do we want to invest lots of money in fossil fuels that we've really got to stop burning if we're not going to flood Lowestoft and East Anglia, and create a handful of jobs with people going to work in a plastics from chemical factory where they probably have to wear full face respirators so they don't get ill? Or do we create technical skilled jobs with apprenticeships? He actually went on to say that with young people protesting about climate change, this wind project gives the young people hope, gives them apprenticeships, gives them skilled long-term work, and hey, we can export that as well. So we've got a choice. This is all down to a choice. Fossil fuels and fracking, or renewables, clean energy future. I'll leave it up to you, the viewer, to decide. Thank you very much for watching the Fracking Farmhouse.